Thanks, Alex. Cheers. Any more of the Nationals want to come before we move to a Sunday's piece?
No.
Okay, just a reminder that all that Fulham stuff is embargoed until 10:30 tomorrow night. And we've got a section now for the Sundays, which will be embargoed till Saturday night. Steve Bates, do you want to kick us off?
Hi, Sean. Can you hear me?
Hey, Steve, you're right. You got the goatee going on, mate. I ain't seen you for a while. He's got the goatee going on. Right,
yeah,
I'm feeling the goatee.
Hey, mate. Yeah, it's a bit of a rascal, that, isn't it? I look like Father Christmas. Anyway, just in terms of what's going on around the club at the moment, Sean, with the new owners and everything, have you had a chance yet to have a proper sit-down talk with them and have a strategy for going forward? I know there's only a week left of the transfer window, and you've made your thoughts plain on that. But just wondering if you've had a chance to have a proper sit-down with them yet.
No, because of the COVID situation, the training ground situation, and obviously after this next lockdown, it's got even tighter. The rules are even more stringent, so we've had to do everything from Zoom. So not as you imagine a sit down, as in a group of people in a room. We haven't managed to do that. We've had sit downs as in the Zoom situation on the other hand. So, we're beginning to get some thoughts on alignment. I think it's been tough for them. I think, they come in and buy a football club. You can't meet the people who work in the offices. You can't really literally get to grips, as in with the people and how they're working, how they're operating. It has its challenges, but on the other hand, we've I suppose fortunately we've got a staff here, including myself, of course, I've been here a number of years, so we kind of know how the club operates. So it's not like we need any direction as such at the moment. Over time, of course, that'll be different when they want to strategise the club and change maybe the framework and how it works. They're all things that will be under debate as we go forwards. The immediacy about the window, I've said many times, you can have as much money as you want. If the players are not available or they're not the right players, well, then it makes no odds. So it's more about, I think, getting to get a feel of the club the best they can at the moment. Me offering a lot of information to them, to try and fast track that feel, if you like, and the understanding, and then taking it each week that goes by. This window was always going to be tricky, whether you got money or not, as I suggest. Will it change as the next week or so goes on? Yeah, it might do. But at the minute, we're still looking at now, but then looking beyond that to find out, as they get more information about the club, to find out what pathway they want to go down.
Just finally for me, Sean, I mean, obviously you've had a really successful spell since you came into the Premier League and you've hit on a great formula, which obviously is able to produce results like tonight. Is there anything, is there one thing or, have you got in mind an idea of how you can change to if you like, recycle a club and keep it relevant and current and move it to the next level?
Well, look, you want in-house development, you want players to develop, but you equally at some point, I've said it for years, not about the new owners or the old owners. Burnley Football Club will have to continue to look at stretching its finance. Now, the caveat against that is obviously the knock-on effect of COVID. We don't truly know yet. Whatever challenge comes into football, the superpower clubs have always bought players and they've always paid what they needed to pay to get them. We haven't been able to do that. I don't think that's going to radically change. I think, the new owners will still want to run it like a proper football club and keep a framework financially. It might be able to stretch in certain areas, but I don't think it's rip it up and start again. So therefore, that mix of development, that mix of getting the right players in, often we've got players who people maybe not recognise as necessarily number one players, but then we've moulded them into a way of working that has improved them and improved us. The obvious one who's been playing lately has been Josh Brown. He's moulded nicely into what we try and achieve. And, with the Naki Wells situation, he ends up at about a £3 million signing, which I think in the modern era to get a midfield player of his, or seemingly how he's going about his business at the minute, of that quality for roughly £3 million is pretty good value. But they're not easy to find them. It's not an exact science recruiting players. So therefore, them sort of players, yes, mixing that with some possibly higher profile or higher financial signings over time, depending on the effect of the market as it is at the moment with COVID and how the world, hopefully for all of us, starts to open up again, and certainly the world of football.
But I would imagine you've got to really be careful not to upset the balance of what you've created and the kind of organic nature of the way it's been created. Don't upset that balance just because you've got money to spend.
Yeah. I mean, it's finding the right mixture, and that's always a tricky balance. Like I say, money or no money, it's finding the right mixture to build on what we've achieved so far. We want to move that forward in the right way, of course, but it is in the right way. And I don't think it'll be a case, as I said, of ripping it up and starting again and, here's 100 million quid, just get on with it. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it'll be layering up. and moving the club forward, kind of like it was going anyway, with just maybe, we'll see, an open-mindedness to what the market offers. But it is tricky at the minute because we don't truly know what the market is offering financially.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, Bixie. Simon Mullock sat there with his hand up.
Hi, Sean. When you spoke earlier about how everything has to be geared towards the Premier League, given that you're somebody who I would imagine a lot of people first came across when you were captain of that Chesterfield team that reached the semi-final, do you have some kind of regret about that everything literally has to be planned towards the next Premier League game rather than maybe really giving it a crack for the FA Cup?
Well, certainly to be fair, I don't think everything has to. I think we put a very strong side in the last cup game, and we got through that after extra time and penalties. I think we've never not taken the cup seriously. There are some challenges to it because the Premier League is got a lot of kudos worldwide, a lot of good for the club, a lot of good for the area of Burnley, and a lot of good financially, quite obviously. That has to be factored in. That's just a business. That's not, if you take away the emotion of what football is and what it stands for, if you were any business and you had this product that pays you this much and that product that doesn't, forget about football. Any business would be saying we've got to gear up to that side of the market. That's just business. That's nothing to do with emotion. If you add in the emotion, the fact it's a great competition, the fact, yes, I had my moment in the sun, if you like, for the FA Cup and the history of it, then of course there's a feeling. I grew up in that era, as a lot on this screen did, the marvel of the FA Cup day, and it used to start at 3:00, but you'd have a build-up all morning and the history of the stories behind it. It does soften slightly, but that's just because of the realities of the Premier League and the power of it. So it's not about, in my opinion, it's not about overlooking it. It's just purely a simple business equation. The Premier League, kudos-wise, collectively around the Burnley area and financially, puts a lot into the system. An FA Cup run once every 4 or 5 years wouldn't do the same. Unless, of course, you're winning it. If you're winning it regular, great for kudos, great for the history of the game, and great for your finances. But not easy to just roll out a cup-winning team every year, and get into the semis or win it. That's for sure.
But can I just ask, as that fifth round draw and the fact that it has taken place, will that play absolutely any factor in your team selection this weekend? Because you look at the teams that you've drawn, Crawley or Bournemouth, and you would think that you would fancy yourselves to go through again if you could get past Fulham. Will that affect your thinking in any way?
No, we're very close to having a fully fit squad. I think we've got some very good players who are out the side tonight. Certainly players who you'd look at and think, yeah, they could play in the side and have done many times. Whatever team we put out, we'd never ever put a team out that we didn't think could win, by the way. We don't put teams out expecting to lose. Trust me, that is miles away from my thinking about myself and about what I do. Absolutely miles away. But sometimes it doesn't go your way. The performance is not there, whatever, or the other team performed very well. And there's a lot goes into cup games, and it does, for whatever reason, no one has ever managed to quite put their finger on it. We've all seen the way the cup works. You can buy the best side and it still goes wrong. There's something about the cup. That's the marvel of it, which everyone talks about. Let's face it. So there's no guarantees what side you put out wins. We put a strong side out the last time. I don't for 1 minute expect us to not put a strong side out. It might be a different side, but it'll still be a strong side that I believe can win.
Cheers, Sean.
Cheers, thanks.
Simon, Joe Bernstein.
Sean, you and Scott Parker are going to be obviously the rival managers on Sunday. I think the LMA are quite happy that English managers are making a bit of a comeback. But no English manager, I think, has won a major trophy since Harry Redknapp in 2008. And I was just wondering if it was important maybe for the reputation of English managers as a breed to win a trophy, or do you think it doesn't matter?
I presume, I don't know, but I think it'll be helpful if English managers are winning things, quite obviously. I don't know about the bigger picture thoughts on that, but I think just because, I'm English and I like the idea of English managers playing, working at the top level, I think it's good for our game to see that. And of course, if English managers are being successful, I've been considered successful because of the size of the club and what we try and achieve here. But if you can be truly visually successful to everyone, which is, as you suggest, winning a trophy, whatever that trophy may be, then of course that's got to be a benefit. I don't think it's essential for an English manager to be recognised purely to win something. I think there's some good work being done by a lot of English/British managers at the moment, not just in the Premier League, but obviously you mentioned the Premier League, and then I think there's some very good managers doing some good work.
Thank you.
I think that's it for the Sundays, and I missed Ian Whitloff for the dailies, so Ian's just going to jump on at the end with a question for the dailies again. All the stuff we've just had for the Sundays is on Borgo till 10:30 on Saturday night. Okay, lads.
No,
Ian,
just
fire away.
Yeah, just a quick one, Sean. Obviously, there was talk last summer of maybe the FA Cup not surviving this season, because of the problems that they might have to get rid of the FA Cup, and obviously for 1 year, and obviously it has survived. I'm guessing, you're pleased as a traditionalist that we've still got the FA Cup. But, I just wondered, has it been in any sense sort of devalued, or is it less important because there are no replays and it's sort of being fixed around the schedule, a very awkward schedule, as you've pointed out? Do you think the FA Cup's lost a bit of something this year?
No, I think needs must. I think football as a whole has had to do whatever it's had to do to be out there and be played and to deliver. I think that's been tricky. I think most people across the board have accepted it. Certainly the clubs have. The way it's been dealt with has probably been the best it can be. I don't know all the detail behind the planning, quite obviously. I'm not involved in the meetings, but the FA, the Premier League and all the powers that be, and of course, the key thing being the health and wellness of a nation and a world at the moment, then I think they've done their best. And I think if they've had to mould things differently for the FA Cup, then I think we've just got to accept that at this time. And who knows going forward, but I think at this time they've done the best they can and they're laying it out the best format they possibly can.
Well, thanks, Sean.
Thank you. And I think that concludes the press conference. Thank you for your patience tonight, folks.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
I'm off for a beer.
Cheers, everyone.